And Josh, I always think of these things too late. We need that theme song from A Star Is Born. Right? Holly McDonald is with us, and now a TV star. Welcome, Holly.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So American Dream TV, huh?
Yes.
Pretty
So,
nice. So you're what a South Orange County host for this show?
yeah, well, beach cities, I would say, coastal areas of Orange County.
Nice. So are you enjoying it?
Oh my gosh, I love being able to share a spotlight on the local businesses and the places that make this place such a great place to live.
So it's a fascinating story. They actually used coastal Orange County as an example at the Chapman forecast. And you've probably heard all of the garbage coming out of Sacramento. Garbage, my word, I'm not putting words in your mouth. Coming out of Sacramento, that we need more affordable housing. And they were explaining how this affordable housing works, and it just has to be a percentage of the median for that area. And you look at it and you say, okay, so if you go to Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, look at the median home values, and I didn't look that up either, and say, okay, we take a percentage of that. Does that really make it affordable for the average person or the low income individual? Probably not going to help on those numbers, but I've seen some great opportunities in Costa Mesa, which no one really thinks is a beach city, but it's pretty close, isn't it?
Oh yeah, there's some areas of Costa Mesa that are literally closer to the beach miles wise than areas of Newport Coast or Huntington Beach.
Do you focus more on Costa Mesa or Newport, or is it all about the same?
Well, I focus more so on Costa Mesa. That's been the market I've been working in and serving people in for over 15 years.
15 years. Wow, you've been doing it so you've seen a little change over there.
Yeah, I've seen the market, at its worst at the bottom during the recession and come on up, and then, the cycles.
So what's happening there now? Is it more, because Costa Mesa it's not like it's Legoland or Irvine or something like that. It's really more of it's a more, I'll use the term seasoned area.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a lot of rebuild or tear down, or what are they doing in Costa Mesa right now? What do you see mostly?
Yeah, so a lot of the smaller, older homes have been torn down in favor of some of the, multifamily, high density housing. But if you're looking at single family houses that are in more of a zoning where it would just be single family, we are seeing a lot of either ground up rebuilds or complete gut jobs and remodeled in a really nice way.
So what is it? Is it hard to, from what you're hearing, and I don't even know if you know this answer, is the city favorable on doing the rebuilds and modernizing, or do they really want the nostalgia?
There's definitely been more so of a push for the high density. We've seen a lot of areas growing quite rapidly, and there is a high demand for housing here, mostly due to the location. So the city has been pretty receptive to letting people do that. I think some of the people that have been here a long time don't like that. They prefer the nostalgia and the charm. So there are different pockets of town where that still remains, but in other areas that are more high traffic, we are seeing higher density.
What is the, I mean, maybe as far as what do you have to be, what are you looking for? What are people looking for when they call you and say, I don't hear, maybe just where I'm at,
Mhm.
I don't hear too many people say, well, you talk about Costa Mesa. Tell us some of the highlights of what you see. Why is Costa Mesa such a great place to live?
Yeah, well, so Costa Mesa is definitely location wise very, very highly. People want it because we're right in between Newport and Huntington Beach. It gives you more options of housing because if you were just look at what's available in Newport Beach, the prices are obviously much, much higher. So that rules some people out. They don't have the options. If you go into Huntington Beach, there's still options, but it's a pretty widespread city. Costa Mesa will get you closer to the beach in many areas, like we just talked about. Plus, there is a good, strong sense of community here. within the businesses and within like the different schools and everything. So there's a lot of appeal to being here. There's a lot of cool businesses here too.
How are the schools rated from a the different rating services?
Yeah, I mean, the school ratings do vary. We are part of the Newport Mesa School District, so there is a lot of overlap between students that go to the schools that are physically located in Costa Mesa as well as the ones physically located in Newport.
Interesting. And boy, I don't know about all of the other areas, but one street. All I know is one street in Costa Mesa, and they've got some of the greatest restaurants right there. Was it 17th?
17th Street is like our little downtown, and it's come a long way. I mean, it used to be just like a normal shopping street and it wasn't as congested. There's a lot of business there, but it is so much fun. There's so many different cool places to explore. I would say a lot of the businesses do tend to be very entrepreneurial and unique in their own way, and a lot of people are attracted to that.
You could actually walk down that street with your TV crew and do a whole TV show on just 17th, couldn't you?
I mean, that's one of the ones we are looking to do. It's
Interesting. We're going to talk more about that with Holly McDonald when we come back. Holly McDonald is with us from Compass. She's down there in the coastal area. Now, if you're looking at the background, if you're watching us on any of our socials, you see the background that I have? Well, Holly's office is down there in that area, so she can actually just go outside and see this. I have to drive down there. You're right there, aren't you, Holly?
Yeah, my office is right over by the bay in Newport, so we've got.
I'm not sure I'd ever get anything done. I'd be out there enjoying the bay view there.
Oh, yeah.
So when you do your next TV show, give us there's only 7 listeners today, so give us a sneak peek. What are you going to be talking about? Who are you going to see? Can you share any of it?
I can share some, and also I'm still looking for some people for some of the upcoming episodes. So anybody that wants to reach out, I can talk with the producers and pitch it. But I've got some great segments coming up covering some of the local arts over by South Coast Plaza at Segerstrom, over on Lido in Newport Beach. We've got some great stuff coming up. Also going to be interviewing some great local businesses too about what makes their businesses unique to this area and why people should come check them out. So I'm also looking for more people and businesses that would like to be featured on the show so I can run them by the producers.
Interesting. Okay. So, I have a friend of mine that just happens to have a car dealership in Costa Mesa, but that's a whole different story. Maybe we'll get you over to the car dealership.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
It's a local, just because it's Chevy does not mean it's local. Good. Well, we'll figure it out. So let's go. Let's follow up a little bit. Starter homes. What does a starter home look like in Costa Mesa in the areas that you're at?
So typically a starter home would either be a condo or a townhome for most people, ranging from typically 2 or 3 bedrooms. And then the other side of that would be a single family house. The price range will vary quite a bit depending on the neighborhood, but typically houses that are 3 bedrooms, 2 baths would be classified as a starter home, a little bit on the smaller side. But for that, you're typically looking at anywhere from $1 million to $1.3 million for some parts of Costa Mesa. Other areas, it could be upwards of 1.7, 1.8 to just get into a starter home. And if you're looking at condos or townhomes, that's the more affordable way to get in. Typically, those are in like the 700 range to about 900, but it can easily go up from there.
Interesting. Okay, so if you can find something at 700 to 900, that's below the median for Orange County, so that's really good.
Definitely. It's a great way to get your foot in the door, gain some equity, have a roof over your head, live in a great area, make sure you like it. And then if you do and you want to move up from there to a larger home, you'll certainly have, more equity from your home sale.
So that's a big point right there that you're making, is the idea of that starter home doesn't necessarily have to be your forever home.
It's often not. Yeah.
Do you work a plan with people to keep the starter home? Do you find more people are keeping it? Or are they moving or do they have to sell it in order to get to the next one? Or what is your normal experience there?
I have seen people do both. I think a lot of people initially would like to keep it if they can. It is a great way to build wealth into your future. Sometimes it doesn't work out though. Like sometimes you do need to sell that in order to be in a better position to buy what your actual either dream home is or your next stepping stone.
What's the market like in your areas there for short-term rentals? Is it allowed? Is it not allowed?
So typically for short-term rentals, it would still have to be 30 days or longer if you're going to be renting out the entire property. So there is a market for it, but it just depends on how you're going to be able to move around that. Not everybody that's looking for a short-term rental wants to do it for 30 days. So you have to be, careful on how you market it.
Yeah, that's a long short.
Yeah, we often do get people that are either relocating here for work or longer term stints, and they want to be close to the airport or they want to be close to the beach, and this offers them both of those things.
Yeah, you do get a whole lot of that in there, and I'm looking at for those people that are in the market just for the investment side. I'm looking at Costa Mesa 10-year average appreciation is 6.55. When you start adding the leverage onto that, that's a pretty good investment area.
Absolutely, a lot of people look at this area for that.
And the median household, it's I think when people hear you talk coastal, I think immediate thought is, that's only the ultra elite, the ultra wealthy. And I'm looking at median incomes, and it's not like it's outrageous for Costa Mesa, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, there's certainly, yeah.
You get some of everything.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, obviously, and you're going to get that 7-figure income earners, but I'm just looking at the report card for Costa Mesa, and there's the median income is pretty affordable. There must be some real nice starter areas that most people don't know about.
There are, and I think that's part of what makes Costa Mesa so charming too, is that there is a really wide range of options.
So when you go into some of the starter areas, the lower priced areas, so a friend of mine has his litmus test that he does a lot of investment properties, and he says, well, his litmus test is if his wife can go and collect rent at night, then he's willing to buy. Is that going to be the area? I mean, I know that I don't disparage anywhere, but some areas of Santa Ana, I'm not going to send my wife at night. Costa Mesa doesn't quite have that reputation, does it?
I would say no. I mean, I feel safe going anywhere in town.
Okay, so and you're going to certainly fit into the same issue or demographic. It's not like you're you're not an MMA boxer, are you? I mean, we do have a guest that comes on that's an MMA boxer, and I wouldn't want to mess with her.
Yeah, I mean, I could hold my own, but I think overall, Costa Mesa it's very safe.
Okay, so we like the area. You've got Costa Mesa, close to Newport, close to the airport. Is the airport in Costa Mesa, or is it Santa Ana?
It's technically Santa Ana, but we're right on that border.
Right on the edge, so it's easy to get to, and you can be in and out of town real quick.
Yeah, a 10-minute Uber ride. It's really convenient.
Well, that's nice. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we're gonna talk more with Holly McDonald when we come back. Continuing our conversation this morning. Holly McDonald is with us from Compass, and now a TV star, American Dream TV. So, Holly, when I first started doing radio back in 2010, yes, they still had radios then. I found it really, really fun, and it was exciting. And people would ask me, what do you like about it, and all the time. What is your favorite part now of being a reality TV host?
Well, I think for me, I started in TV production out of college. That was what sort of propelled me into real estate. Was I worked for Home and Garden Television as a producer on House Hunters. So that was behind the camera. Now I am in front of the camera as a host, but honestly, I'm really just shining a spotlight on the community, which I've been doing so much with social media and my podcast as well. So to be able to do it on like a higher scale, it's just been so rewarding. I love it.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot of fun. So your first episode. Tell me about the first. I want to hear the experience of the first episode, and I'll share mine just so you can think about it for a second. My first radio show I was at ESPN Studios, AM 830 there in Anaheim at Angel Stadium. Nervous as heck. I brought in probably 2 reams of paper of notes. I couldn't read any of them because my hand was shaking too much. And now, you just kind of have a couple of lines and reminders. Was it that? Did you have more of the background from being behind the scenes? Did it make it more comfortable for you, or was there that nervous part?
No, I was terrified. I practiced so many times, just like my intro. I was repeating it like obsessively. And I did try to mask it and to not come across as nervously as I felt. I did have somebody on as a guest of mine who has done a lot of TV work before. So that helped to like calm my nerves. And I think it went well. It went great. I'm really excited for some of the future episodes though, because they definitely get better as I'm more warmed up, and it's just a really great experience.
So you've had some time. How long is it between episodes?
They come out once a month or so there is some downtime.
Which is good, because mine were once a week at that time. And I would tell people that my second episode was probably the worst show I ever did in my life. And when you think back, now 15 years into it, I think back to it. Well, the first episode, I had like 6 weeks to prepare. The second episode, I had 6 days. Yeah, a little different. So you're probably now looking at, okay, who am I going to bring on, next episode and 2 or 3 or 5 episodes from now, aren't you?
Yeah, and it really, for me, it's more about telling a compelling story. I mean, I'm there as the host, but letting them share their story. So it's more on them, honestly. I'm excited to showcase them the best way possible.
Okay, so you mean I'm talking too much and I should be telling you just share your story?
No, not at all.
Okay, Holly, I get it. I understand now. So tell me, what's your favorite story of someone you helped? Because we did the Who Do You Know segment. What's your favorite story of somebody you've helped in your 15 years when you go through that catalog in your mind?
There are so many great stories, but I will just talk about one that just happened recently because it stands out quite a bit. I just helped a family that was really, really motivated to move out of state. They had a job opportunity waiting. They had a house that was in escrow waiting for them to sell their house, and they hadn't had much luck selling their house. They brought me in, and we really just dialed it in. We were like, okay, what are your goals? How are we going to make this happen? And we just pulled out all the stops, and they were able to make it happen. They were able to move. They were able to get their jobs that were waiting. They were able to buy a new house, and they're just so happy now. So I know it can be very stressful when you've got all of these uncertainties, like you were talking about earlier. The market's full of uncertainties. But if you have a plan and you put your head down and you're really strategic about it, you can really truly do anything.
I love stories like that, just because, and again, it goes to show having what the value is or the benefit of having a professional with experience who's helping you. And, what's important, because, when you've got that next place already lined up and you've got the job and all the family things already in line, sometimes price isn't the most compelling part of it. It's all these other things. And I know we've talked many times on the broadcast that Harvard studies show that price is usually number 6 on the list of the priorities that people have with their real estate. Yet so many people think that that's the only thing that is important. So you kind of just prove that, I don't know whether they had to have a specific price or if they were, but time sounds like it was the main issue for these people.
Yeah, it was time and like what was going to be best for their family. So you just have to identify what is really the most important thing to people.
And I don't know about you, Holly. I've looked at a few things and I'm going to share right now. If you do what I'm about to share, go to Google, get an alias, get a fake email address, get a fake phone number. But you can go on to some of these online, and it's smart to do it that way because otherwise you're going to get inundated. But go online and take a look at what some of these services offer and what they want from you. The online services. And all they really are is they're just selling your data. Right? When you call somebody like Holly, you call me, you got a direct phone number, you have direct access. Holly's been doing it on social media, so it's not really hard to find direct, instead of going through these intermediaries. And one of the things you just said, Holly, not a lot of people think about is Have that conversation. You know, it's not a matter of, okay, your house is worth X and we can sell it and we put a sign in the yard and sign here. That's not you had a consultation to find out what was really important to these folks, didn't you?
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Is that your normal way, or do you have other people come in and just say, you know, Holly, I want to sign, go?
Usually we have a good conversation. I think it helps everybody to know what direction to go in and puts everybody's expectations right on the table.
Makes life a lot easier that way, I think. You know, if you want to get in touch with Holly, so how does somebody find your TV show, Holly? We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, well, it is streaming, so it's on Tubi and Amazon Prime TV and all of these other streaming platforms. Also, they can go to my YouTube channel where I post just the portions of the show where you'll see the Costa Mesa and beach cities, places that I've been featuring.
Okay, and what's the YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is, I should know this. If you just search for Holly McDonald, it will come up.
Okay. Stumped. Sorry about that, Holly. I should have figured out. I should have looked at that myself.
I just to change the name around. So yeah, just search for my name and it will come up.
Holly McDonald. Okay, look for Holly right there on YouTube and anywhere you get any social stuff. Now everybody's going to streaming, so that's easy too. Beautiful. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll be looking for your next show.